At the radio station, the chairman and pharmacist Pai-yu were being interviewed, but Pai-yu seemed to dislike it. After the interview, the chairman took him to a vacant lot. He began to humiliate Pai-yu and even slept him. Sion and the team leader had been following them all alone and were standing nearby. They captured pictures of the scene. They almost got caught, and Sion even dropped her police ID card. Chae-sam took his daughter to school, but the teacher called him back and said she wanted to report a missing girl. He said that they couldn't investigate a case of the girl simply being absent from school. But he learned that a few days ago, the girl's mother had sent a message asking for her to be excused from school, but when the teacher went to the house, she found out that the girl's mother had died. There was also a woman staying there who had taken the girl and disappeared. After having someone check, they learned from the landlady that the girl's mother had purchased life insurance with her own name, Park Soo-hye, but the beneficiary was the woman staying with them, named Lee Dyson. After hearing that Park Soo-hye worked at Pai-yu's research institute, Sion decided to go there and ask for more information about her. Her colleague said that when Soo-hye met Dyson, she saw that she was pitiable and helped her. But then, Dyson became dependent on Soo-hye. After learning that Soo-hye was about to quit her job at the company, Dae-san demanded to go with her. Out of kindness, Soo-hye took her along. Asking about Dae-sun's previous residence, Sion learned that she stayed at a welfare institute funded by Chairman Do Si-chin's company. Hearing this, Chi-seong and Sai-won were stunned. The team leader and his subordinate investigated further and learned from a neighbor that Dae-sun often dressed like Soo-hye and was happy when people mistook her for Soo-hye, like a crazy person. The chairman discovered that Sion was following him and was furious. Fearing that his dark secrets would be exposed, he sent people to arrange for Sion's disposal. Ever since he saw his wife and the team leader being friendly with each other, Chae-sang always thought there was something shady between them. While reviewing files, his wife came in. Seeing how receive a message and leave, he followed behind and saw them go into a house together. Out of curiosity, he opened the door and saw everyone celebrating with fireworks. He didn't understand what was happening, and then everyone said they were celebrating the client in his case being discharged from hospital. He didn't know who it was, and then the man walked out. He was the same person who had been involved in the violence in the real world and whom Chae-sang had forced to confess. In this world, Chae-sang had helped him clear his name. They were celebrating today to thank Chae-sang. The next day, Chae-sang and Se-on went to the hospital where Soo-hye was confirmed to have died. The doctor said there were no suspicious signs on her body, but the child and the woman who went with her were very suspicious. The little girl kept mistaking her aunt and mother, and she was scolded by the woman. Se-on said, could it be that she made the girl change her way of addressing them? At this point, Chae-sang also understood that Dae-sun's motive for killing wasn't about the insurance money, but to steal Soo-hye's life and become her. The chairman, for some reason, went to find Pai-yu and tried to stab him with a shot of glass. He choked Pai-yu and said he had to serve him. Seeing him go crazy, Pai-yu suddenly called him father and said that half of his blood belonged to him. It seemed that the chairman knew about this but didn't accept the truth. He called Pai-yu a filthy creature for daring to call him father. Pai-yu said that if the chairman killed him, the whole country would know that he was his son. After returning to the prosecutor's office and discussing the information they gathered, the boss decided to publicize Dae-sun's information on national television to find her. The chairman was very worried about Pai-yu's threats earlier, so he sent people to prepare to harm and eliminate him to prevent future troubles. At the office, the boss was happily calling his daughter when he suddenly jumped back, stalling his subordinate and causing her to spill her coffee. She chased after him to scold him, but unfortunately, she spilled coffee on his shirt. Two subordinates came in and said that he had diarrhea. They went in to report that they had found the person who had previously assaulted Dae-sun. It was Soo-hye's ex-husband and his brother. This surprised everyone. After finding her ex-husband, they learned that they had assaulted her because they mistook her for their wife. He also said that Soo-hye had ruined his life. She had stolen his stamp to borrow a large sum of money for her cosmetics business. His daughter once told him that her mother and aunt always wore the same makeup. He said that Soo-hye must have intentionally created a copy of herself. Chae-sang and Sin-ayeon were at a theater to investigate Dae-sun's boyfriend. The theater director said that they were very much in love, but after her boyfriend went to Dae-sun's house one time, he constantly avoided her. He also gave them a handwritten letter from Daesun. The police obtained a death note from Subhai and showed it to Sion. Suddenly, Sion realized that Daesun's handwriting and Subhai's handwriting were very similar. Seeing this, Chae-sang showed the director a photo of the three of them together and asked who was Daesun. The director pointed to Suhai. At this point, Chae-sang understood the situation and said that the person who stole someone else's life was Suhai, not Daesung. After approaching Daesung, Suhai wanted to make her identical to herself and always went out as Daesung.
She then killed Daesung to live her life, thinking that no one would notice with Daesun's identity. The scene shifted to a garden. Her boyfriend was tied to a chair with tools, and Suhai was preparing to deal with him. Hearing him call her Suhai,
she went crazy and said she was Daesun. Then she choked him. She knelt down and begged him to love her, but he called her crazy. She stood up and grabbed a syringe, making him terrified. The police arrived at the scene. They rushed in, and she threatened them. She was going crazy, yelling and despairing. Seeing this, Chae-sang tried to persuade her, saying she shouldn't let her daughter lose her mother. After hearing these words, she calmed down and lowered the needle. The police rushed in and apprehended her. After asking her friend to investigate a hospital that the chairman always went to on weekends and prohibited anyone from entering, Sion decided to investigate it alone. Sion was in a patient's room when the chairman and his people arrived, making her very nervous. She hid in a room but overheard the chairman wanting to kill the patient. She was about to approach to see what was going on when she accidentally made a noise. The pastor, who followed the chairman, went to check the rooms. Sion crawled under the bed, but almost got caught. At that moment, the fire alarm suddenly rang, helping her escape. She quickly ran out and was greeted by the team leader. Back at the office, she was scolded. Chae-sang was sitting outside when Sion came back. She ran to hug him, exhausted. Chae-sang comforted her and held her hand. He said, "Thank you for choosing me. I promise I'll make you happy because you're the dream of my life." They kissed in the middle of the courtyard, witnessed by envious viewers like you and me. The next day, Sion received the Outstanding Police Officer Award. That evening, she came home to find her husband had bought her shoes and invited her to go hiking and camping, which made her very happy. The chairman, through his people, learned that Sion had appeared at the hospital. Fearing that she would dig up his secrets, he sent people to make her disappear. That evening, while sitting at home, Sion suddenly received a text message saying that it would tell her information about the person she wanted to investigate, so she should go to the address provided, but she had to go alone. Sion went to an abandoned house. As she entered, she was attacked by a man. She managed to subdue him, but then she was hit on the head with a stick by another man and collapsed. He held her down while another man with a syringe injected her. They dragged her inside. Chae-sang woke up and couldn't find his wife. He was extremely worried. Her phone had been switched off. After finding Sion's location, Chae-sang went there. When he saw her tied to a chair, he was knocked unconscious. When he woke up, they were sitting opposite each other. The man in black took a hammer out of his bag and was about to hit Sion on the head. She was terrified, and Chae-sang pleaded with the man. His emotions overwhelmed him, and suddenly his body woke up in the real world. Chae-sang woke up, still thinking he was in the other world. After the lawyer and his subordinate convinced him that it was reality, not a dream, he realized he was back in the real world. The team leader and his colleagues were interrogating a criminal when they received information that a body had been found in Cheodong. Chae-sang suddenly thought that events in both worlds were happening at the same time and location. In the other world, Sion was harmed. Fearing that she was also in danger in reality, he told his subordinate to investigate whether there were any raiders in Cheodong. As the police team was about to leave, they received a notice that the body they had discovered was someone they knew. After confirming that there had been a murder in that area, Chae-sang worried that it was Sion's body. He told his subordinate to drag him there. At the crime scene, they had exhumed the body and confirmed that it was Sion's brother. She stood there, stunned, and everyone was heartbroken. When Chae-sang arrived, Sion was very cold and asked him how he knew about it and came here. Chae-sang still couldn't believe they had found her brother's body. Sion was also confused as to how he knew it was her brother and thought he was involved in the case.